Oh, Blue. What are you doing? What are you doing? Blue is one of the first e-cig companies that I ever heard of. So they've been around for dick years. You'd think they would have figured their shit out by now. So they sent me some stuff to look at, and this is one of the things, obviously. I've got their little e-cig Cigalike device, and also one of their versions of like a second generation e-pen. So, I had a really bad impression of what these were going to be like. I'd seen a few reviews, and the one that stands out in my head is a review that Grim Green did, and he basically shat all over these. How they tasted, how they performed. He wasn't a fan. So, my bar was low, very, very low. And maybe because of that, when I received these, I was actually pleasantly surprised. Now, I don't want to at all try and say that the flavor was good. It's not. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, that's for sure. So, they sent me a couple of flavors. I've got original, cherry, and taurine. The original is the one I think everyone's grapping about because that was nothing special at all. Cherry's a slight improvement because it somewhat kind of masks the flavor, and the taurine is by far the most palatable. But yeah, the flavor is not what I liked about it. But I did kind of like these. I was going to give them a good review. So that's why I'm extra sad. But I'll tell you about that in a second. Let's talk about the good stuff first, shall we? First of all, they're pretty easy to use. Okay, this is your cartridge, like I said. This has your nicotine and your flavor. And this here is your battery. Screw them together and off you go. Boom. When you first set it up, take 3 primer puffs on the thing just to clear out the cartridge, and then you should be able to do some of that. Now, that's the problem, but we'll talk about that in a second. I kind of like these. I really do. Again, the flavor's not great, and I don't think these are for seasoned vapors. I really don't. Unless you're a bit like me, and you kind of like how novel they are. They're cool. I really do like them. I like how slick they are. They're slim, and for a metal cigarette, they're quite light. Super easy to use, and I just liked mixing up my routine. I liked having these around. Would I want them as my only source of vaping? No. But they're fun to use. You know, I'd be sitting at the table with my friends and just whip one of these little guys out. Or I'd be cooking in the kitchen and I'd have a blue cig hanging out my mouth, you know? So, for people who might be beginners, or people who are after something more discreet, or people who just want something to mix up their routine and add to their collection, then yeah, these are pretty cool, man. I dig them. And you've got to say this for Blue, they have got their image down pat, like this nice little black cigarette with the blue light and stuff. It's cool. I dig it. So yeah, when you take a puff, little blue light lights up on the end. And when it's ready to be charged, that will flash and let you know that it needs to be put into the charging case. Okay, this is the other thing I really liked about it. So, the battery itself doesn't get charged directly. You charge the case. And then, okay, when the battery needs to be charged, okay, for example, you know, let's do a real world scenario. You puff on your assembled e-cigarette, the battery dies, unscrew that, put it into the charging slot, take out the fresh battery which is there, and then just, yeah, swap them out. Great, slick little system. I really, really like it. So Blue's done a great job on that. This whole system I definitely approve of. So, what's bad about them? Okay, really quickly, just to go over again, the flavor, a lot of people aren't going to be impressed by that at all. The vapor production on these things, before the problem happened to me, was satisfying enough, okay? Again, if you're used to vaping some of the higher end stuff, the vape on these isn't going to blow your socks off. But it was an okay little stream of vapor. I was pretty well happy with it. But one day, I was vaping on my little blue cig, and then it just kind of shriveled up and died on me, and I was getting nothing from it at all. And I thought maybe it was the cartridge. Because here's the thing. I know as well that these batteries don't last indefinitely. I'm totally aware of that. But I haven't been using these for very long. I've only used them for long enough to try all the different flavors. I've not finished one cartridge yet. I've used them interchangeably at the moment. So none of my cartridges have been used up yet. So therefore, the batteries are definitely a long way from themselves being dead. So anyway, I'm vaping on it, and then it just goes dry and nothing's coming out. So I think, it's the first cartridge that's died. So I unscrew that, throw it away, and then I put on a new cartridge. Take a couple of puffs on that. It works for a little bit, like maybe 1 or 2 puffs are going okay, and then all of a sudden it shrivels up and dies as well. I'm baffled at this point because the tip isn't flashing. I'm thinking it must be getting to the end of its life, so I puff on it for a little bit, waiting for the flash to tell me that it needs to be charged. Because you're also not supposed to charge these when they're midway done. You have to wait for it to flash, because that will ensure the longevity of your battery. But anyway, it's not flashing, so I get a little frustrated. I take the battery off, I put on a new battery, try that, nothing. They both just died at the same time. So I've done everything, okay? I've made sure both of the batteries are fully charged, the case is fully charged. I've swapped out cartridges just to make sure like I didn't run into 1 or 2 duds. They just stopped working. It stopped working. Very strange. And I'd understand maybe one of the batteries going on the fritz, but both at the same time and with different cartridges, I have no idea what this could be. And I'm pretty sure I'm following the system exactly as it should be used. So anyhow, I go onto the internet, I go to their website hoping that there might be some kind of troubleshooting solution, but there's nothing on the website that's addressing an issue like this. So yeah, I'm really bummed out, man. I was gonna say some nice stuff. Ultimately, that these were fun to use. Again, maybe not for someone who's an advanced vapor, but, good fun for someone who might be a beginner and for someone who just wants to add something to their collection and have them for the novelty of it, because I dug them, man. I was really into it before that happened. But yeah, now, absolutely nothing. Nothing. Now, I have been trying both of these batteries at the same time. Like I said, I'm just frustrated trying to figure this out. And this is a brand new cartridge. This is the taurine one. And I'm getting a little bit more, but it's rapidly fading, I tell you. See, I had to work hard for that, and that was all I got. So, that was a bit better. But honestly, they were working a bit better than that before. Still not the greatest vapor, but it was there. So yeah, very disappointing. I don't know what's happening with that. Now the other thing was their e-pen. Okay. Now it's pretty standard. It feels kind of nicely made. Like it's light, but it feels good. Okay. I also like the look. I just like how Blue's products look. Again, this soft matte finish. This nice little window here where you can see your juice levels, all of that kind of stuff. It wasn't the best vape I've ever had, but again, this isn't meant for advanced vapors. This is something for people who are just beginning to vape. So as a beginner's tool, it was working pretty okay. You got your little blue light there. And the vapor production, again, on this was better before, and I'll tell you about that in a second. You might be able to hear what the problem is. Little blue light shows you that it's working, but here's the problem. It's gurgling, man. And it wasn't doing that before. Now, again, I'm pretty experienced with this kind of stuff. I know how to just kind of prevent leaking. Like, I know that there's basic things that you can do wrong, like overfilling a tank, for example, stuff like that. So I made damn sure I never did any of that. But one day I was just vaping on this, and then it just started to gurgle like crazy, which is weird. It hadn't gurgled before. And then it started pissing out juice from every orifice on its little body. Everywhere. Leaking from the air holes, leaking from around the top, which is actually where you fill it. There's a silicone seal around there. Leaking from the windows. I shit you not. I thought I was imagining it at first. I thought maybe juice was getting from the air holes onto the window, but no, it's leaking from the windows. And it leaks internally as well through the connection. Juice will gather in these compartments as well. So, fuck. I was gonna kind of say this was an alright instrument as well, but I don't know what to say now. This is officially the leakiest tank I've ever had. And I've tried to fix it. I've blown out all the juice, you know, kind of dried it a little bit and everything, and then just put just a smidge of juice in there just to make absolutely certain that I wasn't overfilling it in any capacity. But no, it's gurgling and it's leaking and it kind of sucks now. But before, it was pretty okay. The vapor kind of sucks on it now, but it was a bit better before. And the other plus for this was the juices were pretty nice as well. I got the original, but also menthol, which is what I'm vaping right now. Nice, sharp, clean, very good. And blueberry just added a nice kind of rich sweetness to it. So I was pleasantly surprised by their flavors. I thought that was kind of a nice touch as well. But yeah, in summary, I'll say that the ecigs, okay for beginners. They don't taste great, that's definitely sure. And the vapor production isn't awesome, but when they were working, it was enough. For how small it is and how slim and discreet it is, it was enough. It was fairly satisfying to me. The highest point for me was definitely how fun they were and how slick and cool everything is about this. And the charging system, loved it. Loved it. Right up until they died on me. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll continue to read and maybe look on the internet and see if there's some obvious thing that I'm overlooking or if there's some kind of fix. I'm not sure. If you get those, I hope it doesn't happen to you because that was very frustrating and disappointing. This thing, perfectly fine for beginners as well. Easy to use, looks good, good price as well. But damn, motherfucker leaks like a motherfucker. What are you gonna do? I'll put the link to Blue in my description so you guys can go and check them out. And again, if you buy the products, I sincerely hope that these issues don't happen to you. Because yeah, before that, it was pretty okay. So yeah, that's everything for now, guys. And yeah, I'll see you soon. I am working on a juice review at the moment, but I just have to rebuild the coil in my limo tank, and I don't have any scissors right now, and I keep forgetting to ask my roommate to go and buy them. So when I get around to that. Alright. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.